Hey, the Setonians, my name is Apollo, and welcome to the men's basketball season preview. And today I am joined by Coach Ben Wilkins. Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm fired up to be here, man. I'm excited.
You've been here for a couple of years now, and the team has definitely seen a pretty drastic change in culture and in performance. Tell me a little bit more about what you've seen, like how you've seen them grow in terms of that culture, in terms of that performance.
Yeah, I think when we took over, first of all, we were lucky to inherit some great young men that really made the culture shift easy because they were willing to work hard. They cared about each other. They had a strong brotherhood already. And so for us, part of the shift has been now it's our older guys, Ryan Meis's, Aaron Garcia's, James Rice, Brian Belay's, Gabe Gillespie, guys that have been here for a while with us. They can teach the younger guys our culture. Year one, our staff is trying to teach everyone. And what really grows is when there is the older guys being able to share corporate knowledge that's in our program with our young guys. And so we talk about all the time in our program, Apollo, we don't have captains. We believe that everybody's a leader. We define leadership as the ability to influence a group of people to a common goal. So that influence now has become bigger because in year three, our older guys know exactly how we do everything. And so our shift has just been that our older guys know what to do, and that's schematically on the court, which also helps with leadership. Because Apollo, during basketball, if you don't know what you're doing, it's hard for you to help me as a freshman if you're a senior. But now if you schematically have been doing it for 2 years, you can help me, and that helps your leadership ability.
So shifting gears a little bit, tell me about some of the past experiences that you've had as a assistant coach and defensive coordinator and how that's helped build that culture, teach you about that culture that you've been building here.
Yeah, I think the cool thing for me is I've worked at multiple spots and different levels. I think part of it, Apollo, is the more places you work at, the more that you learn how to solve problems and be agile in solving problems. So, when I was at Barron College, Division II school, we didn't have a permanent locker room. We ran vans to every game. Our pregame meal was the dollar menu. They got 4 things on the dollar menu. And,
wow.
And we built a program that won a national championship with a recruiting class that we left. Then I went to NC State, and you're dealing with ACC problems. And then I was at William & Mary. We're a really driven academic school, in a school at the time with George Mason, Old Dominion, VCU. And so we're playing against way bigger athletes, way bigger guys. And we played at Princeton style. We spread it out. We shot a lot of threes. We played a matchup zone way before anybody else was doing that. So we had to figure out, okay, we don't have as much athleticism. We have more skill. We have more IQ. How can we solve this problem? And then Army, the ultimate leadership academy in the world, West Point. There's not a better place in the world. I was immersed in an elite environment to learn leadership at the highest level. I was around Army Rangers, Delta Force, generals. We had a second lieutenant or an officer travel us every road trip that we could pick their brain. So I learned what an elite leadership looks like. And the one thing I would tell people about the Army and West Point, the movies have it all wrong. Very few yelling. They put them in positions where they fail often, but then they pick them up and help them get up to the standard. But it's a different level of leadership. So I want long-winded on that one, Apollo, but I learned a lot of stuff from every different spot.
I'd like to talk about one of your players because last year he had won PSAC West Freshman of the Year, and that's Kedrick. I'd like to hear about his journey as a freshman and how he was able to earn that award.
Yeah, I love that question because it's a journey for him, and I think sometimes when someone won an award like that, people see him at the end of the journey, at the end of the journey, and see the result, but they don't see what it took to get to that level, that area. For Keddy, he believed in himself, and so for me, I didn't know he was going to play much as a freshman, and I asked him if he wanted the red shirt early on, and luckily so, he said no, coach, because I want to bet on myself. I think I can earn more minutes. I think I can do it, and so he had a confidence to believe in himself, but it wasn't you're wrong, coach, I'm not here. It's like, I'm going to prove it. I'm going to earn it. And that's the difference of saying, you're not giving it to me, but I'm going to earn it. And then he just kept getting better every day. And part of Keddy is he's extremely self-aware, Apollo, extremely self-aware. And to get better at something, if you're not aware of your faults, you can't get better. And he's willing to take criticism and say, okay, I'm going to get way better. He is super coachable, looks you in the eye, always listens. and he reflects very well. And he just went from a kid that was going to play a couple minutes, that went to 4 minutes, then went to 8 minutes, and then went to 20 minutes and went to starting. And, he was one of our best plus-minus guys, and not only a good player, but our team was better when he was on the floor. To me, that's something I really look at is not just individually are you putting up points and stats and rebounds, is our team winning. Right? So Keddy, his journey was special because I also think it's rare these days that, he's willing to work. He's willing to take that ownership and then also believe in himself. He's a special young man, and, he's continuing his journey of, the next layer of he wants to be a better leader. He's trying to figure out how to be a better leader. And, hey, he's willing to fail to learn. And I love that about him.
Yeah, it seems like he's going to be a even better player this year. And, I'm really excited to go out there and see him play, see him set an example for everyone else.
So give him a credit. He continues to work, man. He's going to have a heck of a year.
Absolutely. So, hey, thank you very much for joining us on here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. I enjoyed it.
Of course. And now for our next segment, we have fifth year Ryan Meis and sophomore Kedrick Curtis. How are you guys doing today?
Fantastic.
Doing well.
Doing pretty good. So, to start this off, Kedrick, talk to me about your journey as a freshman getting Rookie of the Year and, what that means to you.
So to start off the journey, actually, before season play, I was actually was asked to redshirt. So in the beginning, it didn't even look like I was going to play. But I knew it wasn't my talent. It was more so the little things, like my body language, how I conducted myself, more so some things off the court as well. And with my team, I knew they had confidence in me that I could fix those things. I started talking to the mental coach, Miss Katarski, who's been a really big help. I just trusted the process, and just small, slow, daily, I started to work my way up into the lineup, and then starting to play 15, 20 minutes, and then by the end of the year was starting, which was just such a blessing. Luckily, I got freshman of the year, but I just want to give a big credit to my teammates, my family, Miss Katarski, and everyone who helped me, because it wasn't just me. Just trusting God and just in the process as well.
It's a very, very great journey to be on, and I commend you for your efforts. I commend you for your perseverance and finding your way to that starting position. It doesn't seem like an easy feat to do, but you've definitely proven yourself, and you've proven yourself to the team and to yourself and to everyone else. So
it means a lot.
Yeah, of course. So talk to us about just your connection on and off the field, and how you've been able to improve each other through your efforts, through, I guess, just helping each other.
I feel like our basketball team is like a family. You'll always see us hanging out, whether it's in the cab or just on a weekend or during the court. You'll see we have a bunch of joy on and off the court, which is fun plus focus. And I feel like us just enjoying each other, knowing that we all here for each other, we all love each other, and it's no hatred, or everything's real genuine. I feel like that just makes us even stronger on the court. I feel like the more we play together as well, our chemistry, this guy right here, I feel like we got pretty good chemistry on the court, so just building that chemistry with all of our teammates, and just building a brotherhood as well. I feel like that's the most important thing.
Me and Kurt personally, I remember a conversation that I had with Kurt. It was after our first scrimmage last year, and he spoke to being asked to redshirt, and it was a time where Kurt probably be the first one to. He wasn't very good mentally in terms of responding for mistakes. He wasn't playing well, and it was a point where he was kind of at basketball rock bottom here. And I remember we were walking back to his dorm, and he was just kind of explaining to me his struggles, and I just kind of reassured him, hey, this is a long season. A lot can happen. Whether it's injuries, you start to play well, other guys start to falter. And it's not anything personal. It's just, how can the team get better? And I just remember that conversation of hey, just stick to the grind. And then, what was it, 5.5 months later, he's getting crowned as the best rookie in our conference. So off the court, I think it's equal to more important as the relationship you have on the court. You build that trust off the court. You only get so many hours in the week, especially in the preseason, that you get on the court. So building that trust off the court, hanging out in the cafeteria, little conversations from the gym back to your dorm. Those little things are really when you build the trust that you see a good product on the court.
Tell us a little bit about your goals going into the upcoming season. This could be
we talk about a lot, there's standards and there's expectations. We view expectations as external. That's what everybody outside of our locker room thinks that we should do or what we're capable of. And that's all like the material things. That's wins, that's championships, that's all that. We tend to focus more on standards. And standards are, hey, listen, we have a certain way of doing things in our program, and if we're not meeting that standard, then it just creates a lower standard. So we're really just trying to, today, Curtis, myself, we're trying to be the best version of ourselves, and then in turn, collectively, we're going to be the best team we can be. So I know that's not the answer you're expecting, but we truly don't really ever talk about like wins, championships, and stuff like that. We feel that if we do our job, striving to be the best version of ourselves, that those things will take care of themselves. So.
Yeah, kind of like what add on to what Mike said. Kind of like I just expect us to just embrace the journey. You know, it's a real long season. Like we go from basically August to March. You know what I'm saying? So just embracing the journey, like knowing it's going to come with up and downs, and just fighting through the adversity. I feel like most championship teams fight through adversity. So knowing like that we have the talent, we have the people in this locker room that can do what it takes. Just trusting in that and just trusting each other that we can like achieve whatever we want to achieve as long as we work for it.
Awesome. Hey, thank you very much, both of you, for joining us on here. We really appreciate it here, and I am really, really excited to see you guys out there in the upcoming week.
Thanks, Apollo. Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course.